What's good, Internet? We're live. Another episode of Morning Wood, September 3rd edition, right? September 3rd.
Sure is.
Big games last night. We really came through NBA.
Yeah, huge games. I got two things to distract you before.
Okay.
Carol
Baskins?
Well, we're past Carol Baskins. We moved on. It's
Okay.
really my ADD bounces to different directions every day. This is today. I found this awesome new Twitter account.
Sure.
It is old.
Shout it out.
It's old TV commercials where it just shows old school TV commercials all day. So today is the Sylvester Stallone Brisk Iced Tea one.
Nice.
The claymation one.
I always there's another Twitter account that posts like 90s stuff, and they post a lot of like early 90s commercial, which I enjoy. So that sounds like a good account. Shout them out. What's the name?
I don't know. It is, and Brisk Iced Tea is fucking horrible, by the way. I can't stand that.
I'm not a nice tea guy.
Yeah, it's at old_TV ads.
Nice. Good for them.
Good. Yeah, second thing I got for you. Have you listened to the Miley Cyrus Joe Rogan pod?
I started it.
God, Miley has an incredible line in that pod.
Okay.
It is, I'm into a lot of freaky shit, but not necrophilia. Because when I'm done with you, you're dead to me. That's gangster.
That is gangster. Put that in a song.
I like it.
Put it in a song. I don't have anything interesting to add this morning, unless you want to touch on Leonard Fournette.
Is that interesting?
I don't know. What was interesting was Game 7 last night.
Game 7 was interesting. That was interesting. There's a lot there. I guess let's start with James. I guess let's praise James Harden for the block. I mean, that seems to be the thing.
I mean, it's a thing. He came through. He played terrible all game.
Whole game he was bad.
Forced everything, and he came up with a huge defensive play. Now, there are people that I saw on the internet that are saying, should we put this block up there along with Tayshaun Prince on Reggie Miller? Should we put it up with LeBron's chase down? And it is way too early to make that distinction. Because one, a Lou Dort 3, regardless of if he had 30 points, is not necessarily something you're super concerned about in that situation, given the other options on the floor. 2, it's a first-round series. It is a Game 7. It is huge. Should it go on his resume? 100%. But we need to slow down and see how the rest of the playoffs shake out and see if this actually even means anything long-term.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great play by James Harden, but let's go back. Let's go back to the whole play. Chris Paul made a bad pass. Chris Paul fucked up. Chris Paul's bad pass was deflected, which got it to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's hands. Shai
defensive play from my guy Russ there to get that deflection.
Dude, Shai's pass is fucking insane. That was an insane pass to find Dort the way that was. That was such a good pass.
He's on the money.
On the money, in traffic, almost no look, incredible pass. Lou Dort, he's got to shoot. He's been on fire the whole game. He probably, he's undrafted. You're going to tell me he's not feeling the pressure? He's got to try to force that shot. James Harden made a good rotation back and made the block. But it all stems from Chris Paul's bad pass to lead that offense. That's where we rely on Chris Paul to. This is what he's here for, is that exact situation. And James Harden was bad the whole game. He was not good a minute of that game, besides for 1 second.
100%. I'm telling you, Dort, I get it. He had 30 points last night. Nobody saw that coming. I'm still more impressed by the defense that he played on Harden.
I'm so goddamn. I mean, again, I think it was our second episode where I tried to pronounce his name. I love Lou Dort. What he's doing is the best. This is what drives Hart. This is what builds team. Rallying behind a guy like that who's giving it all. It's the Marcus Smart effect. Same idea. I absolutely love what he did, and he showed last night that, hey, you can't leave me open. I'm going to kill you if you leave me open. Granted, it's one game, but at the end of the day, this is exactly what he's supposed to do, and that's what helps his team.
Yeah, and honestly, I think he'll get the shot down. He doesn't have terrible form. I think he's going to turn himself into a more than capable shooter, and that defense is just so outrageous that he's going to be an NBA player for a long time, even if he doesn't really develop the three. Good for him on making a name for himself. There was a possession where after Harden went one-on-one a couple of times and got absolutely horrible looks, whether it was a step back, whether it was on a drive, whatever the case was, Dort was just clamping him up. And there was a possession where I said to myself, I'm like, they need to start getting this dude off movement. And they did it the very next possession. So now they're trying to do different things, dribble handoffs, screens, whatever. And there was one possession where they set 3 screens for him at the top of the key. 3 screens. He fought through every single one and got up in James Harden's shirt and forced Harden into like a 1 or 2 second heave that basically was like a shot clock violation shot. He's just, his strength, his quickness, his anticipation, his instincts, just unbelievable. Crazy how he went undrafted, but man, kudos to him.
Kudos to the Thunder, man. I can't praise this team enough. This team was supposed to do nothing. They took one of the better teams to 7 games. Chris Paul did an outstanding job with this team. The Thunder should be so goddamn happy with with SGA.
Yep.
Again, I can't fucking stand watching Dennis Schroder play.
All right, so here's my Dennis Schroder thing that I thought last night, because he was really, I mean, he had his moments. He had a couple of good defensive moments. He had a couple of good offensive moments here and there, but it was a mixed bag, which is what you get out of Dennis Schroder. You get mixed bag. And every time he shoots a 3-point shot, it reminds me of when Smalls is standing in the outfield and he's trying to throw a baseball for the first time.
Smalls, throw it a second.
Yeah. Every time he lines up, he's got this slow release. He ends up with his right foot in front of his left foot. And every time I just want Benny the Jet to run out to the outfield and show him how to actually throw a baseball.
Dude, yeah, that sucks. But he went 5 for 17 last night with 0 free throw attempts. I can't stand watching him play. Again, the Thunder, they're just limited options. They need it. They need someone to go take these shots.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Gallinari disappeared last night.
Dude, any type of mellow inefficiency conversations that have ever been had, granted, Dennis Schroeder's not mellow, we get it. But Dennis Schroeder is far beyond. They're brutal. Melo can shoot 5 for 17 and somehow he ends up with 30 points. That's not what Dennis Schroeder does. It's brutal. Any possession that he uses, he has the ball, is a positive for the opposite team.
Yeah, he's not fun to watch when he's in one of his 5 for 17 shooting nights. And he doesn't, like, he's different than like J.R. Smith. Because J.R. Smith could actually shoot the ball. So when J.R. Smith was putting up 17 shots, like, you felt like J.R. Smith could get hot at any moment. I never really feel like Dennis Schroeder can get hot. Dennis Schroeder's at his best, not when he's chucking up threes. Dennis Schroeder's at his best when he's using his quickness to get into the paint. And you can't be 5 for 17 with no free throws in a Game 7. Game 7s are too hard fought, too well defended to chuck up long jumpers. You got to get to the line. And that's why, at the end of the day, you look at James Harden and you're like, all right, well, at least he still got to the line a little bit.
Yeah.
Granted, he's a superstar. Dennis Schroeder's Dennis Schroeder. But fact of the matter is, Dennis Schroeder can't get to the line like that consistently, and that's where he'll hurt you in a situation like this in Game 7, where he clearly doesn't have it from the jump. Basically, he was Austin Rivers last night, except Houston was like, every Austin Rivers minute's hurting us. He's not playing more than 7 minutes.
Sure. Eric Gordon and Covington, I feel like they played so goddamn well. I feel like they saw it in like early in James Harden. They're like, oh, he doesn't have it tonight. Eric Gordon's like, Eric
Gordon's playing Rockets.
He was driving to the hole. He was creating. Eric Gordon played incredible last night.
He also had some incredible defensive possessions on Chris Paul. Got him with a strip a couple of times. Just incredible. Like, he also made one of my least favorite basketball plays where he dribbled after he made a tremendous defensive play. He got the ball and brought the ball up, dribbled directly into the trap zone in the corner right above half court and turned it over. So, but outside of that, he was fantastic. And, I think sometimes we forget that Eric Gordon can create a little bit.
Yeah.
Like he can create a little bit. So, Houston should exploit that because you're going to have your guys on Harden and Westbrook. Regardless of which Westbrook you get, you have to defend him. Now, OKC is doing their thing where they're throwing Steven Adams to defend him a few times, blah, blah, blah. But, SGA a lot of times ended up on him. Eric Gordon as a third option, like you can let him create a little bit. You can let him run a little bit of pick and roll. You don't want to do it every time down, especially with Harden on your team. But if Harden is covered by a guy like Dort, free him up, man. Let Eric Gordon cook.
Yeah, for sure. But I would make the same argument about Russ because Lou Dort's not covering Harden and Westbrook. So that being said, with Eric Gordon and Covington yesterday shot 11 from 20 combined from three. That's going to open up some space. You can't leave them open and they're shooting over 50%. So if you got Lou Dort on Harden, why Russell Westbrook shot 2 free throws yesterday? The paint should be open.
Yeah. So, and Russ attacked. He just wasn't drawing contact.
And he didn't play bad. Like Russ played well. He didn't play bad.
Russ was good up until like the last few minutes of the game where he tried forcing stuff.
As usual.
But yeah, and I was like, oh my God, this is the Russell Westbrook that everyone is going to destroy.
Oh, we both nailed the best bet.
Nailed it.
Thunder plus points.
Nailed it. So here's my Russ thing. And he did it one time, and this is an area, and I say it about a bunch of players, like especially if you've been watching my draft videos. This is like, and I said it about Pascal Siakam. Russ did it to SGA one time. He got the ball in the mid post, that 15-foot area, and just blew by him. There was nothing that SGA could do. SGA is an athletic, competent defender in his second year.
Russ is so much stronger.
And Russell Westbrook just blew by him. One step, like no dribble, just one dribble at the hoop. If you're going to have Russ like attack from the 3-point line or whatever, like great. He's still going to be able to use that momentum, get to the hoop, but he could actually make like scoring plays from 15 out because there's less to go wrong from the time he has the ball to the time he's at the hoop. And his first step is still too fast to, even if he's driving.
Too furious.
Too fat. Good Ludacris shout out. He's still too quick to get to the hoop. I wish they played him there more. I wish Pascal Siakam got to that area and faced up more. That face-up game is huge because he's going to draw a ton of free throws there. You just catching up. You have to. And the way that the Rockets play where they spread everybody out, you can't send a defender to just wait underneath the rim because you do have 5 guards who could shoot or 5 wings that could shoot, whatever the case is. So Westbrook posting up in that little area and using him as a center, like bring that out of the bag a little bit more. Bring it out of the bag because he's going to either make plays because Russ, despite he'll pass, he's gonna make open passes, he's gonna get his assists, and he's gonna get to the free throw line.
He once averaged a triple-double 1 year.
2 years. Really over the course of 3 years. So take that, analytics guys. But yeah, that's how I want Russ to be used. Also, Jeff Green, still Jeff Green, big Jeff Green night.
Yep, Rockets won. They did what they had to do, kind of. Again, the Thunder were playing with house money. Good job to everyone out there. I'm really interested to see what they do with that team in the offseason.
Yeah, it's
Rockets got to get ready for the Lakers. That's going to be a conversation.
It's going to be a conversation, and I mean, I just can't. Like James Harden's probably sleeping so well tonight or last night, knowing that the Lakers have nobody like Lou Dort on their team to give him trouble.
We'll save that for tomorrow.
All right, so on to the Bucks, Miami Heat. Heat take a 2-0 lead. My guy Jimmy G buckets. G stands for gets. We talked about it, how Jimmy probably isn't going to put up 40 points again, but he doesn't need to because guys like Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero are going to step up. They hit 6 threes combined, make up that point difference. Let's start it out with the last 2 possessions. The foul that Middleton got 3 free throws to tie the game, and the foul they called for Jimmy to win the game. Right or wrong?
Oh,
In or out?
way wrong. Way
In or
wrong. Out on both. Like, there's they're such ticky-tack things. We're not here to watch you, refs. It's after the fouls, it's not even like the shooter was like, wow, complaining to the ref. Like, come on. It's bullshit. It really is. I'd be frustrated on both sides. Have you ever seen a game end with 0 with free throws on it?
Not in a long time. There was a stat. It hasn't happened since in the playoffs since like 91 or something.
I mean, come on. That Dragic Middleton wasn't even complaining for the foul. Granted, he still had 3 free throws, and he did it.
He was straight up.
This is like, we're not here to watch you, refs. We're not here to watch you.
No, obviously that it sucks. It's bullshit.
Every player knows. Every player knows at the end of the game, if you completely mug somebody, yeah, a foul should be called. But everybody knows, every player knows, it's an unsaid rule that we're not getting foul calls at the end of the game. It's just what's going to happen. Like, does anybody nobody expects that to happen at the end of the game.
No.
Everyone already has the mentality going into the last minute that refs are going to, they're going to hang on to the whistle. That they're going to let the boys play. This is insane.
Yeah, but here's the thing, and I agree with you 100%. It's obviously the worst way for a game to end. I'm sure Miami's not complaining.
No.
It sucks because Bucks fans can't complain either.
No, they shouldn't.
You can't. If you're a Bucks fan, it sucks that's how you lose the game, but that's the only reason that you were in the game. So it sucks. But I mean, all of these refs, there's a report that Scott Foster came up to Chris Paul and told him that he refereed Chris Paul's last Game 7 loss too. Like, these guys want to make themselves too much a part of the game, and it sucks. And it's like the consistent thing that the NBA gets shit on by all of its fans. It's that the refereeing is terrible, or they make terrible decisions. I think that the referees typically do a pretty good job.
I think they do. But I'm not even complaining about refs as a whole. Always more than likely they do a good job, but this specific incident sucks. Was Jimmy a makeup call then?
It has to be, and that's the thing, because if you're the Heat, you're like, it's the same. It's probably worse. Like, Jimmy's, at least Giannis, like, was using his momentum to go into him and touched him. Like, I'm not saying it should have been called, but if you don't call that for Miami, at least you got to be like, you have to be pissed if you're not, you don't get that call and you're Miami, because Milwaukee got a worse call. So it's, it's a catch-22, because either way, the story is going to be the referees. Should they have called it? Should they not have called it? If they only call one, how do you not call the other? They called both. So yeah, I guess, is it fair that they call both? Like, it's a tough situation that they put themselves in.
Yeah, Middleton still had to hit 3 free throws, which is impressive in that moment. Jimmy hitting 1 out of 2 at a tie game, or I'm sorry, hitting both in a tie game, that's less impressive. But it is what it is. Unfortunately, that's going to be the highlighted story of this game, which there was so much more to it.
Well, one of the other stories of the game is Giannis's minute distribution.
So, did you see what Richard Jefferson said?
Maybe. He's been saying a lot.
So Richard Jefferson says that it's time to think about Giannis as a Pippen, not a Jordan.
Right. I did see that. Here's my counter. 1, I've never thought about him as a Jordan.
His contract says different.
Well, sure. 2, he's always been. I like his point, but he used the wrong example. Okay. Giannis is more of a Shaq, and now he needs his Kobe. He needs his Dwayne Wade. You still need the perimeter player who can go get buckets in the last few seconds.
I like it.
I still don't think Middleton is that guy.
No, it's not, for sure. I mean, I love Middleton. I've been all in on Middleton.
You love Middleton more than anybody loves Middleton.
I absolutely love Middleton. But watching this team play in a half-court setting, in a half-court offense with the defense on them, is painful for my eyeballs. They just can't run a functional pick and roll. Like, it is hard, really, really hard to watch. They're half-court offense is atrocious. What's that?
We're getting real close to the Chris Paul to Milwaukee rumors heating up.
Oh my God, they need it so bad. It is hard to watch. And it's not, it's not all Giannis's fault. It's not all Bledsoe's fault. It's a combination of the pieces just look awkward. It feels uncomfortable. There feels nothing natural or fluid about their pick and rolls they run.
No, and they do. They need that guard who could orchestrate everything, because that's never been Bledsoe. Bledsoe's never been the orchestrator. He was a defensive change of pace guard with the Clippers. He was a push the pace and then let Dragic run the offense guy with the Suns. He's not a let me get the ball into the half court, get everybody to their spots, and just systematically break down a defense the way that a guard like Chris Paul does. He's never been that. And George Hill's never been that either. George Hill's been more of like a spot up guy, he's like a 3-and-D point guard. That's what he was in San Antonio, where he was playing with Tony Parker. That's what he was in Indiana, where they let Lance Stevenson run a lot of the offense. So they don't have that guy, and it's not fair to make Giannis that guy. He's
not that guy. He shouldn't be that guy.
He can. No. Giannis can take get a rebound, go coast to coast, perfect.
Transition ridiculous, but Giannis clearly, he's ridiculous, but there's weaknesses in his game. He can't shoot. That's a weakness in his game. Now, I was clamoring about the rebounding numbers from game 1. Yesterday, Milwaukee out-rebounded them 50-38. That's big, as well as I was crying about Giannis' free throws. He shot 9 for 12, 9 for 13. Great. That's everything. They fixed those two problems and they're one possession away.
Yeah.
But I don't remember. We love Goran Dragic. I don't know where he got this edge from. I don't know who pissed him off. Someone must have slept with his wife or something, because he is playing out of his fucking mind. His step back right now, his lefty step back looks like Harden's.
Yeah, look, Dragic's always been a baller. He's even watching international competition, this dude always loves the moment. Fourth quarter against the Spurs, where he had 23 points in the fourth quarter. This dude steps up when games get tight. Like, who would you rather have? Eric Bledsoe, Goran Dragic?
Oh, it's not even close. I want.
That's
switch those two players. It's a way different thing.
It's a way different thing. He's the kind of guy that, if you're Milwaukee, you really needed. Somebody who can get into the paint, get to the line, hit step backs, make good passes, like just be a point guard. They don't have it.
Tyler Herro is fucking fearless. He really doesn't give a shit. I love watching Tyler Herro. He does not care. He'll go out there and take the biggest shot of the game.
He's got balls of steel. He's got a personal vendetta against the state of Wisconsin, because I guess he initially was supposed to go there for college, chose Kentucky, but now the state of Wisconsin hates him, and they're about to hate him even more when Miami wins the series. Yeah, you got to love the kid. He's just a baller. He's like the walking, living embodiment of Woody Harrelson from White Men Can't Jump. Like, yeah,
pretty much.
Just like knows he can ball with anyone, fit in, not going to get scared. Like, got that chip on his shoulder attitude.
This might be a bad matchup for Milwaukee, man. I don't know what further adjustments they can make besides not fall down when they're trying to do a pick and roll.
I got news for the East. Miami might be a bad matchup for everyone. I mean, they're all bought in and they're playing well. All these guys that I would never want on my championship team are all contributing. Crowder, Olynyk, all these guys, they all know their role. I think that's a big part of being a successful basketball team, is knowing your role. That this is what I bring to this. This is my job. This is what I do, is knowing your role and accepting your role. Like, for example, Marcus Morris's role on the Knicks was be the star player and score all of the points. Sure.
That's not your role. Aaron Afalo, when he was on the Knicks, this is my time. That's not your role. I think that's where these guys are contributing and buying into their role. They're not asking them to do too much. They're not asking them to do too little. I think it's just the pieces are fitting so well.
That's Miami's whole thing. And if you don't fit in, you're going to get sent out. Dion Waiters did not want to play his role. That's not what Dion Waiters does.
They did pay him, though.
They did, because for a year, he played his role.
Years stretch. Let's go 30 games.
30 games, he played his role.
Well, his role, but the problem with that combo is he played his role because there's nobody else to play that role. He just played the role that it's my time. It's my ball. Right. I'm the star. And it's just what they needed at the time. It was the hero that they not the one not the one they needed, but the one they deserved, or whatever the case, or not the one that deserved, the one they needed. So that's what it was. And then it turned into, oh shit, we don't need this. We don't need this anymore. We have another option. And Dion Waiters is like, my time still.
Yeah, he didn't like it. They sent him out. Now he gets to go have that situation with the Lakers where, he's barely...
Now he gets to go possibly win a ring. God damn it.
We showed him. So for just a few minutes, and maybe they're saving it for a possible Boston matchup, I want to see the Iguodala, Derrick Jones Jr., Jimmy Butler, Jay Crowder, Bam defensive lineup that just wreaks havoc, could switch everything because they're all the same player on defense. Bam a little obviously can go against bigs a little bit more, but they could all switch up onto bigs, all guard perimeter players, and just they all know how to play defense and can make insane rotations. I want to see that for like 2 minutes and just see how hard it is to score on those guys.
It's gonna be rough, but it's gonna be rough. But I think the problem with that, again, I'm thinking more towards the Celtics. Is the Celtics have kind of the same idea, just with better players.
Defensively, though, not necessarily
defensively, but offensively, way better.
Yeah, offensively, way better. But that lineup is also tailor-made to take away a lot of the strengths of the Celtics offensive players in a much better way than some of the other teams. I'm not saying I want to see it in long stretches. I just want to see it as a change of pace thing to get guys out of their groove.
Sure. Celtics Raptors tonight. Celtics bounce back. Raptors bounce back.
Oh man, I don't think the Raptors are going to get swept, but and look, it was a 3-point game, their last game. So is it?
I don't know how they're, again, it's the same convo we've been having. I just don't know how they're going to find more open shots besides these running threes.
VanVleet just needs to go off. He just needs to go off.
Well, he just needs to hit his difficult shots. He's getting shots. They're just difficult shots. So he needs to hit these difficult shots. And is that something you can rely on? Is that an offense? No. But there's not really, I don't see other options for them.
It's tough for them because, we forget before VanVleet turned into this version of VanVleet that everybody loves, he was terrible in the playoffs last year.
Right.
And then he went nuclear in the finals.
Sure.
Like, he was almost unplayable at times. Then this year, he continued his play from the finals. He's going to earn himself a huge contract. But, he's not a guy that has always been this unstoppable offensive player. And now they are relying on him as, they're kind of a 1A, 1B, 1C offense. They don't have Jason Tatum, who you're like, this is our number one scorer. This is our number one option. They don't have that. They play the hot hand. That stuff doesn't work in the playoffs nearly as well. Last year they had Kawhi. Kawhi was their number one option. It was just cake that Fred VanVleet decided to go nuclear in the finals. You need guys who could step up and play above their weight class.
For sure. I just think it's so damn hard for him. Every basket's hard for him because of this matchup.
But that's part of it. It's easier for him to do that kind of stuff when there's a 1A to alleviate the pressure and take the focus of the defense. So now you're getting better looks. When you are now either 1A, 1B, or 1C, now you're getting that full-on attention. So it's harder for him. And the Celtics are the worst possible scenario defensively because they have Marcus Smart. They have Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. They have really the only guy who's not the strongest defender is Kemba, and Kemba's still a smart player. So it's not like he's going to kill you on the defensive end being out on the floor with these other smart players.
For sure.
The difference is just he's now getting a different level of focus than he was, last year when he made a name for himself in the finals.
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree. I just think this is a bad matchup for them. I don't know how they adjust. The Celtics can just switch, and they're too goddamn big. They're too long. So with them being this long and Kyle Lowry and VanVleet being smaller type guards, especially VanVleet, I don't know how it's going to be really hard for them to get open shots, which it has. They're shooting extremely poor, and it's because they just have to take difficult shots anytime they get any sort of look. It's not shots they normally want to take, but they have no choice to take that shot because it's the only looks they're getting. So I think it's extremely difficult. It's not like VanVleet or Lowry are commanding, what matchup do you want? Do you want Jaylen Brown on you? Do you want Tatum on you? Or do you want Marcus Smart? Because all three of those sound like shitty options.
That sucks. All of those options suck. Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, I have confidence in Kyle Lowry to bring what he has to bring. But this is the first time that a guy like Siakam's been in a position where, you average 23 points a game in the regular season? Okay, show me. It's the first time VanVleet is in his role. All right, you're not just playing and getting all, the swing passes off of the broken, when Kawhi breaks down the defense. Okay, now show me.
The problem with VanVleet is I think his ultimate destiny in the NBA is to be the JJ Barea 6-man, come in, dominate, 25 minutes a game, and get out. I think that's going to be his ultimate end game. However, he's not going to get paid that way on this next contract. He's going to get paid as a starter, so he's going to be forced to start. And I really hope it's not by the Knicks.
It might be by the Knicks.
I like VanVleet's game. I just think his destiny is JJ Barea type. He could be a better JJ Barea. And that's not a bad thing. JJ Barea has been fucking good in this league for a long time. He helped win them that title. JJ Barea is a good player. I would love JJ Barea. You know who need JJ Barea? The goddamn Lakers need JJ Barea. So I just think that's going to be his ultimate destiny, is being the best 6-man a team needs.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to argue when you're as tall as he is that that's not what your destiny is. Obviously, he's proved that he could be a good starter on a very good team. But if you don't have somebody in the backcourt with you, or I guess in the front court with you, to be the number one guy, it's tough having him as somebody you rely on like that.
I know. I think he'll fit well next to LaMelo, so it's going to work out perfect for you guys.
The Bulls don't have enough money for both of those guys, so whatever, I'm trying to come to terms with my LaMelo situation. That's, every time I play out the draft order, it's more and more of a possibility. And honestly, like, if the Warriors like Denny Avdia, if they could probably get him at 4 if the Warriors were just like, hey, we'll take Thad Young and the number 4 pick. You could have the 2 pick. There's the situation. There's a lot of scenarios that scare me of the Bulls getting LaMelo Ball.
You smoking crack is starting to scare me.
The Clippers are -9 over the Nuggets.
They don't deserve to be. It's not the Clippers play that lights out to where they deserve a 9-point favorite. I don't know about that. But the Nuggets did just get off of Game 7. They got to be exhausted just in general. And Game 1, this is going to be a really weird matchup. I'm excited to see what happens here.
Yeah. Speaking of Nuggets, I want to mention Jeremy Grant. You know who needs Jeremy Grant? Milwaukee needs Jeremy Grant.
Jeremy.
No. He's out of the NBA.
Notre Dame.
Jeremy Grant's the kind of guy that, like, for Milwaukee, would allow Giannis to go check perimeter players and not have to protect the paint, because you could switch him out and have him guard big men for spurts. But that's another story for another day. The Nuggets are really going to have a tough time if they're trying to handle this the same way that they did against Utah. One of the reasons that Jamal Murray got the looks that he got is because Utah, like, when Gobert's on the floor, they play drop coverage and they're daring you to shoot. Well, Jamal Murray loves that. Jamal Murray loves playing against drop coverage. I don't think the Clippers are going to play drop coverage nearly as much, so they're going to have to rely on Jamal Murray getting more creative, trying to make plays, getting to the paint.
Also, against Kawhi or Paul George, which I hate that if
Or
I'm Denver.
Or Patrick Beverley, like
Yeah, there's no good option there.
It's a way different thing than it was against Utah. Now, what Denver probably should exploit is the fact that Jokic is going to demolish
100%. No, I'm on the same page with you in this entire game. Jokic, who the hell are they putting on Jokic?
Jokic is going to destroy Zubac.
Yeah, it's going to be brutal. So they got to go. They got to go all Jokic. Everything. This Jokic has touched the ball every single possession.
Every time down. And Jokic is like, we hate post play, right? We're supposed to hate post play. One, Jokic is an incredible post scorer. One of the best post scorers in the league. Two, Jokic is one of the best passers, not only from the center position, just in the league in general.
Yeah.
So if Jokic is going off down low, you have to double down eventually.
Sure.
Once you double down, this is where you get those kickouts.
Yeah, for sure.
This is where it's simulating the drive and kick.
Hey, Tim Duncan did this for 20 years.
It works. When you have a good passer in the post, it works.
This is 20 years of Tim Duncan.
Dak did it.
They have to do it. They have to go all in on Jokic. And Doc Rivers isn't dumb. I'm sure he knows. So I'm sorry. The Nuggets aren't dumb. I'm sure they know that. And like in that regard, I just don't know what the counter is.
We have breaking news.
Oh God.
From Woj. Steve Nash has signed a 4-year contract to become
the
head coach.
Knicks.
Brooklyn Nets.
Oh shit. I hate this.
Jacques Vaughn will stay on as lead assistant to become the league's best compensated assistant coach.
Oh God, I hate that.
Steve Nash, the head coach, the soccer guy who said that he want to focus on basketball.
Dude, that's fucking weird. Because like, who
out of nowhere, RKO out of nowhere.
Damn it. You know who sounds like he would hate this more than me? Steve Nash. Like, what? He wants to go deal with Kyrie. He wants to do that. That sucks. Why would he want to do this? Why would he want this as his head coaching gig to start? I get it. You have KD and Kyrie. I guess that, he became boys with KD from Golden State.
Boys with KD.
Right.
I guess, like, Steve Nash has accomplished enough in the NBA that if Kyrie starts getting weird, Steve Nash has that gravitas to be like, you got to chill out, man. Like,
oh God.
Steve Nash. And he can go to KD and be like, yo, check your boy. But man, that's out of left field.
I had no idea that was even a conversation.
He has not been mentioned by anyone.
Where the hell were you on that, sources?
Sources say the Brooklyn Nets are pursuing. Woj, another big Woj bomb. A lot of breaking news.
That's nuts. I can't. I hate that. I hate the Nets, obviously, being a Knicks fan. But again, I love KD. I love Steve Nash. I hate Kyrie. I just don't. Why would Steve Nash want this? I feel like he can literally either wait for Steve Kerr. He could probably take on the Spurs. Like, he's got other options.
Why didn't he take the Bulls job?
Jesus goddamn Christ.
Steve Nash probably looking at this.
What about Ty Lue?
Steve Nash is looking at this as his Golden State Warriors.
I feel like Ty Lue is turning into the Dave Chappelle Ja Rule skit. What would Ty Lue do?
Where's Ja? Yeah, he's got to be looking at this as, this is my Golden State Warriors. This is my Steve Kerr. This is how to walk into a coaching situation, tailor-made, ready-made, with players, that's whatever, that could possibly win a championship. And
I mean, don't get me wrong. You'd rather walk into a team with Kyrie and KD than walk into Orlando or Chicago.
But they have good deep dish pizza though.
So New York's pizza is better, but you think that would be something that he would walk, like, it makes sense in that regard. Like, you'd rather walk into a team with stars than a team capped out with no stars.
Man, tough break for all the Mark Jackson fans who keep getting.
Oh, I hate this argument.
Tough.
This might be my least favorite one. But hey, Mark Jackson bringing up Brandon Taylor last night during Game 7. Pretty powerful.
I missed that. I watch all the games with no sound on, so I missed it. I got to go back and check it out, I guess.
You're a monster. Got it.
Shout out Mark Jackson for his speech that apparently was good that I'll watch. I think we have to end it on Steve Nash.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's it. We hit 40. Let's drop 40 again. Third game in a row.
I'm going to take Celtics +1.
I'm going to take the Nuggets +9.
And that's it. So until tomorrow.
Your source, Wojnarowski, told you first. We broke it here. Steve Nash to the Nets.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
We're just like, we nailed it. We're like every other site now. You just follow Woj's Twitter and report it. Sources say. Look,
if you're watching the show, you got it here first.
Got it here first, as from our source, Adrian Wojnarowski.
I could have it scroll the bottom of the screen like you do. Next time, I'll get that prepared.
I like it. That's great.
Later, guys.